Did you know that some car companies actually lose money on certain models because nobody wants to buy them?
It's true.
We're talking about cars that sit on dealer lots, collecting dust, becoming a financial black hole for the automakers. Most people don't realize how truly awful some vehicles are, even when big names are behind them. Today, we're diving deep into the world of automotive failures, pulling back the curtain on the 11 absolute worst cars that Consumer Reports says you should never, ever touch. These aren't just unpopular cars. These are the duds, the lemons, the ones that became cautionary tales in the automotive industry. Car 1, the Chrysler Sebring, 2001 to 2010. Now, when you think of cars that just didn't hit the mark, the Chrysler Sebring often pops up. This car, across its various generations, just never really found its footing. Consumer Reports flagged it again and again for a whole list of problems. Imagine stepping into a brand new car, and the inside feels like it's already years old. That was the Sebring experience. The materials used in the interior were just plain cheap. We're talking hard plastics everywhere, panels that didn't line up, and buttons that felt like they were ready to fall off after a few months. It wasn't just about looks either. This cheapness contributed to a noisy cabin. You'd be driving down the highway, and it would sound like the wind was having a party inside your car, with rattles and squeaks joining in. This really took away from any sense of comfort or quality. But here's where it gets even crazier: the engines. Many Sebring models came with four-cylinder engines that were just gutless. Trying to merge onto a highway felt like a risky maneuver, and passing another car was an exercise in patience and prayer. They struggled to provide decent power, and to add insult to injury, they weren't even good on gas. You'd be burning through fuel for a performance that felt like you were dragging an anchor. Even the V6 engines, which should have offered more oomph, were criticized for being underpowered and still terrible on fuel. It was a lose-lose situation. For a mid-size sedan, it just couldn't compete with rivals that offered a much more refined and engaging drive. That combination of poor build quality, unreliable engines, and terrible handling cemented the Sebring's reputation as a car nobody wanted to buy. Car 2, the Fiat 500X, around 2016 to present for sales struggles. Moving on, let's talk about the Fiat 500X. Now, Fiat has a certain charm in Europe, but trying to bring that same magic to the American market has been a struggle. The 500X is a prime example. It's a small SUV or crossover, but it has this kind of quirky, almost cute design. The problem is, that quirky design didn't really resonate with American buyers looking for practical, reliable, and versatile vehicles. Consumer Reports highlighted its low brand recognition in the US and its niche appeal. People here want cars they can trust, cars that fit their lives, and Fiat just hasn't built that kind of reputation here. The 500X, despite its distinctive look, often felt out of place. But here's the really surprising part. Beyond the looks, it had its own set of issues. Owners often complained about refinement problems. The interior, while trying to be stylish, could feel cramped for some, and the materials weren't always up to par for its price point. The infotainment system could be clunky and slow, which is a major turnoff in today's car market where tech is a big deal. Car 3, the Mitsubishi Mirage, 2012 to present. The Mitsubishi Mirage. This car is almost legendary for how basic it is. And I don't mean basic in a good, simple way. I mean basic in a way that makes you wonder if it's still 1995. Consumer Reports has consistently ranked it at the bottom, and for good reason. It's cheap, yes, but at what cost? The biggest selling point of the Mirage is its low price. You can get one of these for less money than almost any other new car on the market. But that's where the good news pretty much ends. The performance is utterly underwhelming. Its tiny engine struggles to get up to highway speeds, and when it does, it's loud and strained. Imagine trying to accelerate from a stoplight, and every other car leaves you in the dust while your engine screams in protest. That's the Mirage experience. It feels like it's constantly working too hard, even for simple tasks. The design, both inside and out, feels incredibly dated. It lacks any modern aesthetics or the kind of advanced features you find in even other budget-friendly cars. The seats are uncomfortable, The road noise is deafening, and the overall driving experience is just plain uninspiring. It's a car that gets you from point A to point B, but it makes every journey feel like a chore. It's a car that tries to be economical, but it sacrifices so much in terms of comfort, refinement, and basic driving enjoyment that most people decide to spend a little more for something significantly better. Car 4, the Toyota Avalon, discontinued in 2022, struggled for years prior. Now this one might surprise some people. The Toyota Avalon. Toyota, on a worst cars list? Yes, even Toyota, known for its reliability, can have models that just don't sell. The Avalon wasn't necessarily a bad car in terms of reliability. It was a Toyota after all, but its struggle to sell was a sign of a massive shift in the car market. The Avalon was a full-size sedan, comfortable, smooth, and pretty luxurious for a Toyota. It offered a great ride and a spacious interior, but its downfall was simple. People just don't buy big sedans like they used to. The market has overwhelmingly shifted towards SUVs and crossovers. Everyone wants that higher driving position, the perceived safety, and the added versatility that an SUV offers. Toyota's own SUV lineup, like the Highlander and RAV4, became incredibly popular, offering strong alternatives that made the Avalon less appealing even to loyal Toyota customers. Why buy a big sedan when you can get an SUV with similar space, better cargo flexibility, and a more in-demand body style? The Avalon just couldn't compete with this tidal wave of SUV popularity. So, while it was a perfectly fine car, it was in the wrong place at the wrong time. It was a casualty of changing consumer tastes, despite its inherent Toyota reliability. Car 5, the Volvo V90, sales struggles in the US market. Here's another one that might raise some eyebrows. A Volvo on a worst cars that nobody buys list? Volvo is known for safety, luxury, and sleek design. But the V90, specifically the wagon body style, really struggled in the US market. The V90 is a beautiful car. It's got that understated Scandinavian luxury, top-tier safety features, and a truly comfortable, high-tech interior. It's essentially a luxury station wagon. The problem, again, boils down to consumer preferences in the US. In Europe, wagons are popular, practical, and cool. In America, not so much. Here, if you want space and versatility, you buy an SUV. Period. Despite its high-quality build and impressive safety tech, the V90 just couldn't attract the SUV-centric American buyer. People looking for a high-end vehicle with plenty of cargo space and that commanding driving position tend to go for luxury SUVs like the BMW X5, Audi Q7, or even Volvo's own XC90. These SUVs offer similar or even superior features in a format that Americans prefer. Car 6, the Alfa Romeo Stelvio, sales struggles, especially for non-quadrifoglio models. All right, let's talk about passion, performance, and problematic sales. The Alfa Romeo Stelvio. On paper, this is an exciting SUV. It looks stunning, especially in the quadrifoglio performance trim. It drives like a dream, with sharp steering and a real sense of connection to the road. It's got Italian flair and a sporty feel that many SUVs just can't match. So why does it struggle to sell? Consumer reports and owner surveys often point to one major Achilles heel: reliability. While the driving experience might be exhilarating, the experience of owning a Stelvio can be less so. People report a range of electrical gremlins, frustrating infotainment issues, and sometimes more serious mechanical problems. For a brand trying to re-establish itself in a highly competitive market, these reliability concerns are a huge hurdle. Beyond that, Alfa Romeo's dealership network in the US isn't as widespread as, say, BMW or Mercedes-Benz. This makes service and parts harder to come by for some owners, adding to the ownership headaches. And then there's the depreciation. These cars tend to lose a lot of their value very quickly, which makes them a tough sell for many buyers who are thinking about resale down the line. So while a test drive might leave you with a huge grin, the long-term ownership prospects combined with reliability concerns in a smaller dealer network make the Stelvio a car that many potential buyers shy away from. Car 7, the Chevrolet Blazer EV. Recent struggles with software and initial quality. This one is a really recent example, and perhaps one of the most talked about for all the wrong reasons: the Chevrolet Blazer EV. This was supposed to be GM's big push into the electric SUV market. A stylish, modern EV to compete with the likes of the Tesla Model Y and Ford Mustang Mach-E. It looked promising on paper, but the launch has been a disaster, and Consumer Reports has been very vocal about its issues. The problems with the Blazer EV primarily revolve around software and reliability. Owners and reviewers have reported a bewildering array of bugs: charging issues where the car just wouldn't charge, infotainment screens freezing up or going blank, navigation systems acting wonky, and even propulsion issues where the car would suddenly lose power. Imagine buying a brand new, high-tech electric car, and it can't even reliably do the most basic things. It's a nightmare scenario for any car owner. These are not minor annoyances. These are critical failures that make the car frustrating, if not impossible, to use consistently. Dealers have been swamped with these issues, and GM even had to issue a stop sale at one point to try and fix some of the problems. Car 8, the Mercedes-Benz GLE, specific model years with reliability issues. You might be thinking, Mercedes-Benz? How can a luxury brand like that be on this list? Well, even the big names stumble, and the Mercedes-Benz GLE, specifically certain model years, like 2021 and 2024, as flagged by Consumer Reports, has faced some serious reliability issues that have made it a car that many people are hesitant to buy, especially used. For a luxury SUV that costs a lot of money, buyers expect perfection, or at least close to it. But some GLE owners have reported a worrying number of problems, particularly with the electrical system. This can range from minor annoyances like glitches with the advanced infotainment system, MBRUX, to more serious issues with sensors, cameras, and various electronic components that control everything from driving aids to climate control. When you're paying top dollar for a sophisticated vehicle, constant electronic malfunctions are incredibly frustrating and undermine the entire luxury experience. Beyond the electronics, there have been reports of problems with power equipment, fit and finish issues that you wouldn't expect from a Mercedes, and even some engine-related concerns. These are not isolated incidents. They've been consistent enough for Consumer Reports to lower its reliability ratings for certain model years. Car 9, the Jeep Wrangler, known for specific reliability and driving issues. The Jeep Wrangler. This is an icon, a true off-road legend. It's loved by enthusiasts for its rugged capability and its unique go-anywhere spirit. So, why is it on this list of cars that people are avoiding, according to Consumer Reports? It comes down to a few very specific, and for many, very annoying problems. First off, its on-road manners. While the Wrangler is brilliant off-road, it's not exactly a comfortable daily driver. The ride can be rough, the steering is often vague and requires constant correction, and there's a lot of wind noise at highway speeds. For someone who uses it mostly for commuting or city driving, these characteristics quickly become tiresome. Beyond that, reliability has often been a concern. Owners report issues with power equipment, climate systems, and sometimes even more serious problems with the engine or transmission. For a vehicle that's supposed to be tough and durable, these consistent reliability hiccups are a real letdown. So while the Wrangler has a passionate following, its compromises as a daily driver, combined with known issues like the death wobble and ongoing reliability concerns, make it a car that many casual buyers, or those looking for a versatile family vehicle, tend to steer clear of. It's a niche vehicle, and for anyone outside that niche, its flaws become very apparent very quickly, leading to it being a difficult sell for a broader audience. It's a love it or hate it kind of car, and for Consumer Reports, the hate it side often outweighed the love it when it came to overall ownership experience for the average buyer. Car 10, the Ford Explorer, certain problematic model years, especially 2020. The Ford Explorer is a household name, a staple of American roads, a popular SUV for families. So how did it end up on a list of cars nobody wants, especially certain model years? Well, particularly the 2020 model year, which was a complete redesign, faced significant problems that dramatically impacted its reputation and sales. When Ford launched the all-new 2020 Explorer, it was supposed to be a big leap forward. Instead, it was plagued with issues right out of the gate. Consumer Reports pulled its recommendation for the 2020 model because of much worse than average reliability. This isn't just a few minor bugs. We're talking about a cascade of problems. Owners reported serious transmission issues with clunky shifts, hesitation, and even complete failures. The electronics and infotainment system were buggy and prone to freezing. There were problems with the power equipment, the climate system, and a range of fit and finish issues, like panels not aligning properly or interior pieces rattling. Imagine buying a brand new family SUV and having to bring it back to the dealer repeatedly for major repairs, sometimes within the first few months of ownership. It was a frustrating and expensive experience for many. Which one of these automotive flops surprised you the most? Did you ever own one of these? And what was your experience like? Let me know in the comments below, and don't miss the next video.